Hello, everyone, and welcome to the second chapter of Kino Carrete in English. We have the honor to have Maria Isabel Diaz, like last time, and she's going to be a regular on our show with our little family. Obviously, we have so many other things that are coming this year. So what we're going to do with Maria Isabel is we're going to have some shows that we're going to be talking about, also like series, movies, maybe art, and some other things that are coming, like interviews, really, really interesting interviews that are coming later on in the future. If everything goes according to plan, then we'll do that starting next month. Let's see what happens. But today, we're going to talk about a movie called Sound of Metal. This movie came out in 2020. And I watched it, and it's really, really amazing. So tell us about it. You want to tell us something a little bit, or you wanted to go with the technical stuff right away?
Well, no, it's a fantastic movie. Hello, by the way, I didn't say hi.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fantastic movie because it has many ways of looking at it, and it also brings a lot of awareness about disabilities, about addiction, and about how life can change for you like this, and then you have to make new arrangements to carry on, and how hard the process is. But if you want to go ahead and tell people about the technicals, and then we can discuss what the movie is about.
Yeah, sure. So pretty basically, the director, and this is kind of weird, because Darius Marder, if you go and check his profile on IMDb, the guy has made, I think, around 5 movies. No, that's it. But this movie, he knocked it out of the park. It's really, really good. The guy is, I think, something like, I don't know, about 40, 45 years old, something like that. And it's really, really great movie. Plus, the cast that this movie has is really good because, for example, there's Riz Ahmed. He was in Rogue One from Star Wars, and he was in Venom, the first one of Venom. No, so starting from that. Then there's Lauren Ridloff. She was in The Walking Dead and The Eternals, and she's a key character in this movie. She's a key character. We'll talk about that later, but the way she handles the small little parts that she is really amazing. She's really, really good. Then it goes Olivia Cook. She was in Ready Player One. No, it was an okay. She was like the character, a second line character, to call it that way. She wasn't the protagonist or anything. Then it goes Dakota Johnson. She was from the 50 Shades of Grey. And you go check it out, because you go like, where? No, like you don't see it, but then when you think about it, it's there. And then Matthew Amadlik, and he was the bad guy in 007, no, in James Bond, Quantum of Solace. No, so only with these guys. I mean, because they have a lot more. No, but these guys are really, really good. The budget for this movie, I still don't know, but if you look at it, I don't think they went over $10 million. I don't think so. No.
I mean, this one of the things I notice about the protagonist is he's such a good actor that when you look at him on the movie, you can feel his emotions. The way he let the emotion, I mean, it's like he's actually feeling the emotion. It makes you feel the emotion too. I mean, you look at his eyes and the desperation and the frustration. You can actually see it in his eyes, which is, for me, a great actor, because we can actually play a character, or they can play a character, but you can't fake emotions, you know what I mean? But this one was so true, and it's so real that it really got me.
The thing is, for example, if you go and check out Rogue One, he's kind of the goofy guy, and you believe his character. If you go and check out Quantum of Soul, not Quantum of Solace, what was it? The other one? Oh, Venom. You see the guy is a bad guy. You believe it's a bad guy. Like, I want to kill this MF. Huh? So, pretty basically. And here, like, every single emotion that he portrays is like right on point. It's really cool, right?
He can't even, I mean, he doesn't even have to talk. It's just when you look at his eyes and his body language, you can feel his pain. So I thought that was amazing. I mean, at one point I was feeling it, and I was feeling the same. I could connect with the character and the situation he was in. And it was something that I noticed in this movie. As good as actors are or actresses are, it's not common that you can actually connect with the character so much that you can actually feel the emotions.
Yeah, but a little, like, to go a little bit farther from that is like, if you put yourself into his shoes, whatever happens to him in this movie, like, spoiler alert, no? If you imagine yourself in his position, it's fucked up. It doesn't matter how you want to see it. It's fucked up, period. No, it can actually, the thing is, okay, so to start talking about the movie, like, this situation to anybody else that's actually an addict could bring that person down to his knees. So it could go down the rabbit hole of the addiction that has. No, because it's
complex.
It's really complex.
It's complex because not only he is a musician, but he's also an addict and he's in recovery. So it's like everything that he used to do with this particular sense that he lost was mainly from his hearing. One thing is that the situation for him at the beginning, and obviously through the movie, was very desperate because there was a bit of a lack of acceptance, which is fair enough when we go through changes in life, so sudden changes, we actually don't accept it, and we try to get things to the way they were. But it's shocking for a person like him, with his experience and with his needs and what he used to do in life. It was a great loss. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is pretty basically at the end, at the end of the movie, he threw everything away, and it wasn't just for, like, because they say in the movie, the thing is, you have to accept the very fact that you cannot hear. You have to accept it, but how is it that they say it? Is basically, it's not the end of your life. There's more to it. No, I'm saying,
but it was the end of his life as it was.
As it was, yes.
Yeah, not the end of the future life, but he didn't plan to change it, so it was something a bit shocking for him. I think it will be for anyone. If you agree with me.
Yeah, because, say, for example, if you are born mute or deaf or with whatever disability, you accept it from the get-go. But he started losing his ability to hear, and it's being a musician, then it's gotta be terrible, huh? So he had to start. Like, he was lucky enough to get involved with some people that actually had the same disability. They were deaf, and they're in this farm, and they accept him, like, in the family, and then he started learning, and you can see the desperation in his eyes all the time at the beginning. Like, how do I begin? because they're like sitting in a round table that they're eating dinner, and then he doesn't understand. Like, he's the only one that actually can speak, and there's one of the guys that is there that can actually read lips. No, so by reading lips, they could actually communicate. So they started showing this guy's process to learn. And here's what one of the technical things two technical things that I like a lot. Well, three, storytelling. The storytelling is amazing. It's really good. It's really like very well edited as well. Second, the lighting of the movie is very well lit. It's very well done. And third, and most important, the sound.
The sound was absolutely amazing. Yeah.
It was amazing. We were talking this behind cameras before, and there's a scene where they're all together. He knows how to speak sign language, and they're sitting around a table. They're eating, and then they put the camera like in POV, like as if you were there, and then you only hear what is happening, but they don't because they're deaf, and so you just hear the silverware against the plates and the things moving, and when they touch the table, and that's it, because they're just playing with sign language. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah, it just gives you the sense of how people in that particular situation feel. Also remember that community was made for people that were in recovery and they were deaf. And now what one question is, how is the world adapting? How does the world adapt for someone that has lost their hearing, or they can't hear since they are born? And this is personally, when I saw that movie, I signed into a course of sign language, because I realized that we don't know anything about it. Everyone wants to learn different languages. Like, you want to speak French or German, or I want to learn how to speak Spanish. No one ever realizes that maybe we should learn how to speak sign language, and it might become very useful for someone else. So basically, this is a community where there was lots of help and acceptance, but it was such a small community that, I think the movie brings that awareness of how many of us are really involved with people that need help in certain circumstances.
Yeah, and you just said something really important, because self-awareness and selfishness, they are like put together at the same time. And what it shows in this movie is that, the level of acceptance that you have to have in life for the situation that you're living in, that's so can be so painful and frustrating. Pretty much, and as we said, Riz Ahmed, the character that he plays is just out of
it's just very catchy. It's amazing, and it's actually very real.
Yeah.
And at the end, all he chose was peace.
Yeah, exactly.
All that running, it's a bit of a lack of acceptance, pain. We all struggle as humans to want to maintain certain sort of life, either a relationship or a job, or some circumstances that we're facing that we know they are not for us anymore. And there is something really, like, if it requires a lot of effort, it's done. This is something that we should tell ourselves, but we try, and he did. And this is one point on his favor too. He didn't accept, and that made him suffer. But he also was fighting for something he thought he needed, and he wanted to be like it was before. He doesn't make it happen that way, but I think growth and acceptance comes, and he just chooses peace. And at the end, that's the lesson of the movie.
Yeah, that last one shot when because he chooses to be free. So because he sells his car, well, his house, basically
Yeah.
there to get an operation.
Yeah.
And then there's where the sound comes again. So they make us hear the way people that
The
have
way
this
he
operation
hears. Yeah,
is
yeah,
awful.
yeah.
For
Yeah, it's not
us, for us that we can hear, it's like it's eerie. It's eerie. No, it's like I want
and
to
this
turn it
is,
down.
you know, when he got the implants
Yeah,
up and running,
yeah.
and the lady said to him, he said, I can't hear. This is a lot of noise, and try another channel. And she said, but don't try to for things to sound like they used to sound before, because that's why you can't hear clearly, because you have the like the points of reference of how your hearing was before, and at the moment it's not going to be like that. You need to adapt to this new way of hearing.
And it's gonna take some time.
And
That,
exactly, that
that's
doesn't happen from one day to another. So yeah.
yeah. So pretty basically at the end of the movie, after all because he really tried to go back to his whole life, to his girlfriend, to because once he sold his house, he got this money for the operation, but then he ran out of money, and then he goes back to the farm where he was living, and he tells the guy, the owner, listen, I need you to lend me some money. I need to borrow some money for you. He said, you know what? I'm sorry, but whatever they talk, the guy says, get out of here. You're talking like an addict. That's what you're doing.
Absolutely, because he was thinking only about himself, and now he wasn't thinking about the community, and that's heartbreaking. You know, when he left the table and the person was, I mean, this guy was actually crying, because it's so difficult to say no to someone in need, but you know that if you say yes, you're going to affect a whole lot of people. That was hard. It's a lot there's a lot to think about that movie, and I think the end of the movie just, it's, you know, it's up to you how you take it. It just is open for everyone's different assumption, you know. So you got the right to feel maybe there is a second movie, or maybe he just chose silence and peace, or maybe this is just a moment where he's just having a very on. So yeah, it's an open ending.
Yeah, because for example, right before the end of the movie, because they show us, like, I think the last, say, 10 minutes, they show us how he was hearing everything everywhere. So there was this party, there was these people singing, there was no, but everything was deconstructed through the way he was hearing. So he was like, this is not it. And then at the end, he goes like that, forget it, just take this thing off and fuck it, I'll just deal with it. What is very important, because he was like in front of a church or something like that. Yeah, a church, I think it was.
Yeah, it was
because he was hearing the bells.
The bells. Huh? Yeah.
He was hearing the bells, and he was like, no, forget it. I mean, that's it. So he takes his thing off, and this guy's face is like, oh, finally? Okay, finally. That's it. I accept my present, my situation. Yeah. I go on with life. It's a really good movie. It's a really good movie. It's very touching. I didn't expect it to be like that. But the thing is, technically speaking, this actor, Riz Ahmed, is made for doing great things in movies and theater.
Yeah.
The guy is amazing. He's really, really good. His story as an actor is not very, very long. One can say that, but whatever he's doing it great. I love the movie.
Oh, yeah, his work is very good. And yeah, this particular movie, he got to the place where this man told him before he left the house, when I am in danger, when I am busy, or when I'm tired, I just retire, and I just can't get to that place of peace where I disconnect from everything. And that is what saves me from life. And I think when he went up after all the trip, all the operation, the trip, seeing his girlfriend, and then going for a walk, and he took them off the implants off. He just felt that place. He went to that place of, okay, now I'm disconnected. And I think that place is a place where we all can go, at one point. It's so necessary to just disconnect from everything sometimes. And I think he managed to do that. So that means it's a goal that he had without having it. His goal was to go back to how he was. But that's the clear example that we want this, and life just takes us where we have to be. And so it's a lot to think about, just acceptance, where I can change things, where I cannot, and just sit down and see how am I going to move forward. But that is the sort of movie that gives you that insight, and it leaves you like, what?
Yeah.
Thinking, yeah.
Yeah, true. And but anyways, it's a really good movie. I think it's in where is it? Is it Amazon Prime or in Paramount?
Yeah, Prime, Amazon Prime Video.
Amazon Prime Video. Yeah, or there are good reviews in YouTube. I was watching them too, and it's really good. So we tell you guys, just go watch it and do you a favor. Do yourself a favor.
Yeah, no, it's a total pleasure to be.
Yeah, but so anyways, this is all for today. So don't forget to subscribe, thumbs up, click in that bell icon, and all your comments and down below. No, so I'll see you and Señorita Marisabel. Thank you very much. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, ciao.
Ciao.